Darshinii. I'm fine, thank you. How about you?
Yeah, I'm fine too. Anyways, first of all, I would like to express my gratitude upon you agreeing to be a part of this interview and actually helping me to gain my knowledge as well as for me to complete my continuous assessment task.
Okay, no mention, dear. It's okay.
Alright, Madam Vaishnavi, so let me ask you a very simple question for the first one. So tell me about how many years have you been teaching and which school are you actually currently teaching at now?
Okay, my current school name is SJKT Jasin, which is located in Malacca, and my experience is 7 years in this teaching. 7 years. This is my seventh year.
Oh, so 2023 is your
Yeah.
seventh year.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
would say that you look too young for you to have that much of experience.
Yes.
But anyways, yeah, that is actually quite long. And now, let me get into a very important question. Straight to the point. What do you think culture is? In the context of a school, or more specifically, in a context of a classroom?
Okay, so as a general definition, culture can be defined as all the ways of life which includes arts, beliefs, religions, race, and also institutions of a population that are passed from one generation to another generation. So we can call that as the way of life or an entire society. So the culture is something that we pass from one generation to another generation. It follows. So it can include with manners, dress, language, religion, rituals, and all that stuff. For an example, in Malaysia, we do have different race, different religion, am I right? And also different culture, but we are still together. We are celebrating all kind of festivals and all that stuff because there are similarities that bring us together through this culture.
Yes, indeed, that is very true. I would totally agree with you. But now, what about the cultural friendly aspects in a classroom, do you think?
In a classroom, okay. Cultural friendly is something that people and also pupils need to practice their own religion without any restrictions. Okay, for an example, in the context of a school, in a classroom, there are Muslims, there are Chinese, there are Indians, Hindus, and all of them. So for a Muslim, they are obligated to pray 5 times a day. Am I right? So as a Malaysian, we won't and we shouldn't ask them, why are you praying 5 times a day? What is the purpose? And you shouldn't do that. We cannot tell that. Am I right? We need to respect and we need to understand. So that's how culture works. So it's a kind of friendly thing. We understand, we share, and all that. That's how.
Thank you. I would like to add about my experience. I studied in a SK school, Sekolah Kebangsaan, both during my primary and also my secondary school. There were equal amount and number of people that comes from different races and religions, mainly Malays, Chinese, and also Indians. Right? That area, we also actually had Ivan, Sarawatians, Sabahans, Karazhan Dusun people, and so on. However, I really respect our teachers for keeping us together, and I never had any problem regarding religions or races during my school days. So yeah,
That's good, Darshinii. Because the thing is, they understand you, they respect. Respect's the main thing in social culture.
yeah, the mutual understanding.
Yes,
between us.
right.
Okay. So now, how important do you think social cultural awareness is for the teachers?
Okay, as a teacher, I would tell that it's very important. We need
Mm,
to have the knowledge of what is culture all about and what is social culture, especially in the context of education, which includes pupils, staffs, teachers, and many others. So
mm,
this is how it works. Like if teacher knows something, pupils for sure they'll know. So in the first, we need to know about what is culture is all about. We need to
mm.
know. Then the pupils will know.
Yeah,
So we need
true.
to have the awareness first, so that we can teach them. We can guide them actually. Mm.
So based on what you are saying, if I would give a scale from 1 to 10,
Mm-hmm.
to do
Mm-hmm.
this, I would say that the importance is at the scale of 10. So that is how crucial and how important it is for us to have the awareness as the teachers, because we are the ones who guide, who teach, and bring and shape the
Yes,
peoples of the next generation.
correct. I do
So,
agree, Darshini, because we need
yeah.
to teach, and also to teach. We need to teach them to create a globalized people. You know.
Mm,
So because we are
yeah.
living in a various and different kind of culture, race, religion, and all that stuff. So we need to know.
Mm. Alright, okay, now moving on to the next question.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think the diversity in religions, beliefs, customs,
Mm-hmm.
and other things can be used to create a social cultural atmosphere and culturally friendly classroom communication?
Okay, in cultural friendly classroom communication. Okay, as we all know, we are living in a 21st century and all that. So basically, in our education system, we are practicing our 21st century learning. So
Mm,
all the activities, all the worksheets are based on individual and also grouping activities. So for an example, if you are working in a SK school, there are Indian students, there are Chinese students, Malay students. So we can group them together. We can group them
mm,
together regardless their religion or gender or their social status, all that. We can group
mm,
them where they can communicate well about the culture. They can share actually they can share the
mm,
concept of their culture. It's a kind of
yeah.
fun or enjoyment, you know. So we
Mm,
need to
yeah.
group them. We can do a lot of group works.
Mm.
That's how it
Alright.
happens.
So now,
Mm-hmm.
as you said earlier, you are actually working and teaching in aesthetic
Yes,
school.
yes, correct.
But I think you would agree with me if I say,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we can group the pupils with different religions, but the percentage of us doing that is actually quite low in any SJJP or SJTC school. Because I don't deny that there are Malays and Chinese in
Mm-hmm.
each school, but they're very less, especially in certain areas. Or even SK school,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
in Terengganu or Kelantan,
Mm-hmm.
they do have different religions, but you can actually count them.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, how do you think is the curriculum helpful to make sure that the pupils of SJTC and SJJP are able to apply and experience social cultural atmosphere?
Okay, I agree with you, Darshini, and the answer would be our syllabus. Our teaching and
Mm,
learning syllabus. They are all included with our cultural knowledge, our social knowledge, and through that, pupils will get to know them well. So, as a teacher, we also are ready to guide them.
mm,
So our syllabus tend to teach what is culture about. So
mm,
that's how work in SJKT. So they for
mm,
sure they'll get to know. They'll read. Sometimes they'll talk. Sometimes they'll write essays, sentences, and all that.
Mm, yes, talking about this, right? I would like to add another thing. I remember us meeting before, and you have told me about the syllabus where we do have about United States
Yeah.
and learn about Pakistani schools, Bangladesh schools,
Yeah.
right? So yes, I think I see where you're going and where the curriculum actually fits to, where we can really create globalized students as you mentioned earlier.
Yes, I agree, Darshini, because we educate the pupils about the culture of various nations, such as US, UK, as you said earlier, Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, China, and all that. So we are educating them.
Alright, here comes the last but not least question. What are the examples of activities you do in order to instill the understanding of diversity in the classroom?
Okay, in the classroom, normally as a teacher, I'll do gallery walk because it's a very common activity that usually teacher does. But it is also help students to communicate well. You know, people are ready to communicate. They'll look through what are the new informations through the gallery walk activity. So it will make the pupils to understand and also get a clear picture of what is social culture all about. So that's how lah. So they'll communicate well with each other regardless of culture, different culture. That's the word.
So as you say, I would say like gallery walk and like sharing among themselves. It actually helps them to learn about the others and at the same time helps them to communicate with each other
Yes.
in a good manner.
Yes, exactly, Darshini.
Okay. Alright, so that was the last question for us and for our interview today. I would definitely like to learn more with you, but since like the time is very limited, I would like to thank you again for being a part of this. And despite having so many problems, you actually said earlier that you had problem with your email, so you used your cousin's email.